Let's go on to 42 and 43 beautiful shlokas. I love them. So perfectly, so logically, so rationally explained. You wonder like, how come I couldn't think of this earlier? So let's do 42. Indriyani paranyahu.
Indriyani paranyahu.
Indriyebhya param manaha.
Indriyebhya param manaha.
Manasastu para buddhir.
Manasastu para buddhi.
Yo buddhe paratastu saha.
Yo buddhi paratastu saha.
All together. Indriyani paranyahu. Indriyebhya param manaha. Manasastu para buddhir. Yo buddhe paratastu saha. The senses are said to be greater than the body. But greater than the senses is the mind. Greater than the mind is the intellect. And what is greater than the intellect is he, the self. Anything to explain in this? It's obvious, right? Senses and the mind is greater, the body. What is there to explain in this? Let's see if there's anything to explain. Take the meanings first. Indriyani, again, you understood that, 5 sense organs. Ahu are said to be. Indriyani, 5 sense organs. Ahu are said to be. Ahu is that little part in the second word. Paranyahu, there, are said to be. Parani, superior. Superior to what? To the body. And also to the Vishayas, I think. Huh? Then mana, the mind. Param is superior. Indriyebhya, to the organs. So senses are superior to the body. Mind is superior to senses. Buddhi, intellect. Para, superior again. To what? Manasa, to the mind. Now, tu, however, but, tu, however, but, yaha, who or what, parataha is superior, who or what is superior, parataha, buddhe, to the intellect, and one small little word, saha, that one, atma. So if I have to paraphrase this, I would say the 5 sense organs are said to be superior to the body. The mind is superior to the organs. The intellect is superior to the mind. But what is that thing which is superior to the intellect? Yaha, the Atma, Saha. All right. To explain this, the Shastras have used a beautiful imagery of the chariot. Everyone has seen the chariot imagery in Bhagavad Gita. It is also there at the back of your book. So the road on which the chariot is running, this road is the sansar. And sansar is filled with the vishais. The chariot itself, maybe I should show the book. The chariot itself is your physical body. And then there are horses pulling the chariot. These are your sense organs because it's pulling your mind out, right, into the outer world. Horses. But the horses are controlled by the reins, see? And these reins are your mind. And the reins are in the hands of the charioteer. So the charioteer is your buddhi, your intellect. You see how the location of the desires is coming in? And who is the owner of this chariot? See, Arjun sitting at the back. The owner of the chariot is seated comfortably in the chariot. He is on his way to his destination, right? Is he doing anything? No. He's just witnessing everything that is being done. He's witnessing the charioteer, he's witnessing the reins, he's witnessing the horses, he's witnessing the vishais, he's witnessing the sansar. This owner is the Atma. So, now why is Bhagavan telling us all these things? Suddenly now from desire he has gone into this. This just doesn't know what he's talking about. Is that it? Never can happen, right? There's always a purpose. Now, you and I, spiritual seekers, we want to travel to our highest spiritual destination, right? What will we need? To travel to our highest spiritual goal, we also need some things. What do we need? We'll need a healthy body. Otherwise, how will we do sadhana? How will we live in the world? So we need a healthy body. So healthy body means what? We need a sturdy chariot. Then we need healthy sense organs. Otherwise, how will we find our way? So those sense organs are the horses. They also need to be healthy. Then we also need a strong mind. Those are the strong reins. And we need a well-trained intellect. Well-trained. Otherwise, charioteer is not well-trained. The horses will go all over the place. If the charioteer is reckless, if the charioteer doesn't know how to hold the reins, if the charioteer doesn't know when to pull the reins back, when the vishais are there, you have to pull the reins back, control the mind. And when there is no danger, you cannot travel also if you keep pulling the reins back, right? You also have to give freeness to the horses to run. So when there is no danger, give the reins. When there is a lot of danger, pull back the reins. So that buddhi has to know. Now there is no danger. Go ahead, spiritual seeker, go. Danger is there, pull it back. Okay. And finally, the road itself, sansar. If it is well maintained, your sansar, because everyone's sansar is their own doing, right? So if you have maintained your sansar through sadhana, if you have taken care of your sansar, of your road, by living dharmically, by living sattvically, if you have taken care of your sansar, your journey, your road will be smooth. Your road will be pleasant. Your journey will be pleasant. But if it's not well maintained, if it's neglected, it will be bumpy. It will be tedious and even painful. So I ask you this question. Out of all these different components, sansar, chariot, means body, and senses and mind and intellect and Atma. So many components are there. Which is the most important as a spiritual seeker? Which is the most important? Where do you have to give top priority? I'm asking you all. I have some people here. What do you say? Intellect. Atma. Body.
The Atma, but you need the others to be.
Which is the most important? What will you give priority to? Mind. So mind, some people are saying intellect, some people are saying body, some people are saying Atma. Let's see what Bhagwan is saying. Okay. In order of importance for a spiritual seeker, the most important, where you have to give top priority, is the owner of the chariot. That is your Atma. Why? Because the Atma has to reach the destination. The Atma has to reach the destination. That should be the first priority. Everything else can happen, and it should happen. It has to be made to happen, because the Atma must reach its final destination, which you all know is moksha. Second in importance, and I'm not saying that the others are not important. That's not possible. Without the others, as you said rightly, without the others, the Atma cannot reach. But the most priority, the most important is the Atma. Second, obviously, buddhi, intellect. Because the charioteer is the one who's holding the reins. The charioteer means your buddhi must be well trained. Well trained. He must do his sadhana, must study properly, do the swadhyay. If the buddhi is well trained, he will know how to hold the reins, which is the mind. The buddhi will control the mind. So third in importance becomes the mind. Fourth in importance becomes indriya, senses. The reins cannot be too loose. The reins cannot also be too tight. Then there's no progress. All right. And then, of course, the road has to also be maintained. So the first, and of course, body then. Chariot also needs to be well maintained. It cannot be khatara, rickety and like falling apart. If it's falling apart, imagine your body is falling apart, your back is injured, then how you'll do anything? So you have to maintain the physical body also. This is the Jnani's priority. This is the person who has that goal firmly fixed in the mind. Atma is most important. But a person who doesn't have that goal, a person who they call deluded, who is thinking body is important, I must satisfy every desire, I must live to the fullest. I hear all such kinds of things. You only live once. You only live once, so you might as well enjoy, eat, drink, and be merry. I to say, of course, you don't only live once. But I tell these people, if you only live once, then you only have this one chance. Then to all the more reason you have to be more cautious, more vigilant. The deluded person who doesn't have this knowledge or this understanding, he's oblivious of these priorities. He's oblivious of these priorities. He's indulging his physical body. Because for him, the body is the most important. Desire arises, satisfy. Desire arises, satisfy. So what will happen? He's ignoring the mind. He's ignoring the charioteer, the buddhi. He's ignoring Atma. What will happen? He will remain in Deha Nishtha. He will remain thinking, I am the body, I am the mind, I am the intellect. So that is why when this priority is given, on what basis? On what basis is the Atma most important? From the basis of subtlety and pervasiveness. Atma is all pervasive. There is no limit. Buddhi is less pervasive. less subtle than Atma. At least you can control it to some extent. Atma is beyond our, it's even beyond our comprehension. So let's see the Indriyas first. Indriyas, they are the more subtle than the rest of the body, because if your eyes are closed, the body cannot see anything. Body cannot perceive anything. So it's more subtle than the gross body. If you're blindfolded, you can't see anything. So your Indriyas need to be open. They are more important. That's why Bhagavan starts with Indriya. Senses are more important. What's the word he uses? More greater than the body. But the mind is greater than the Indriya, because the mind has to be engaged. The Indriya may see, but the mind has to be engaged. The mind has to collect that information. Indriyas don't know what to do with that information. They are simply collectors. But the mind is the one that has to process it, process that information. So in deep sleep, when the mind is shut down, when the mind is shant, can your Indriyas take any information in? Not possible. Therefore, the Indriyas, the sense organs, need the mind to perceive. Forget deep sleep also. Let's say you are engrossed in a program on TV. You are engrossed in some program on the internet, in some game which you all play. And somebody is calling you, dinner is ready, dinner is ready. Somehow the Indriya of the ears just don't seem to hear it only, because the mind is just not at all engaged in that. So mind is engaged in something. I don't know what you will do with your thumbs. Tick, 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 tick. So much that you can't hear anyone saying anything. So mind needed for Indriyas, greater than Indriyas. Then even more subtle, even more pervasive than the mind is the buddhi. Mind cannot decide. Mind cannot analyze. Mind cannot, understand also. You need the buddhi. Without the buddhi, the mind has no way to translate stimulus to action. And finally, Atma, all pervasive. No boundaries. No boundaries, is beyond the intellect, beyond the mind, beyond the senses. So that is what Bhagavan wants us to understand in this shlok, because in the next shlok, he's going to tell you the master plan, the master stroke of using these, priority list of removing desire, which we all require. We all require this information. So let's recap up till now what Bhagavan has said. Desire, anger, one component, is the enemy, and it obstructs our spiritual growth. Desire is born out of rajas, resides first as rag and dvesh were in the senses, as desire in the mind and the intellect. It obstructs knowledge and wisdom. Therefore, it must be destroyed. So logical, very logical. It must be destroyed. First line of attack, senses, because it is still in the disguise of rag and dvesh. But have you ever seen that when you try to control your rag and dvesh, your like and dislike, does it completely go away? No. Why? Because Bhagavan has told us earlier, the ras remains. The ras remains. It has not been uprooted completely. Even when you are not got that Vishay in front of you, the memory of it remains. So some more action will be needed. And that action is what Bhagwan is going to tell us in the next shlok, which will actually conclude chapter 3. Let's read it.